motherfuckers.
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this.
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
We'll track him to the ends of the earth.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
Всем привет, дорогие друзья! Меня зовут Валера, точнее даже добрый вечер. Мы продолжим сегодня проходить Call of Juarez Gunslinger. О, хочу ее пройти. Классная игрушка, красивая. Блять, какая же она красивая. Видите, о, кстати, солнышко как переливается. Класс. Реально класс. Так, пошли, Сайлос. Продолжаем слушать офигительные истории Сайлоса Гривза. Вода, кстати, красивая тоже. Камушки. Блин. Кто бы мог подумать, что вот реально изрисованные графики можно вот прям вот такую игру сделать. Ну, хотя Borderlands еще есть, но... Ладно, идем дальше.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell.
Эй, кто мух пустил в мое болото? О, мои идут.
It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks.
Да, нужно следить за платочками, то есть по ним. Так ты не заблудаешь. Птички летают. Долбаные, мать его, мухи. Ремингтон. Винтов. По-моему, Ремингтон не смешно. Теперь пакость летает.
It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood.
Неожиданно.
The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
Что-то мне кажется, киданут они меня сейчас. Такое у меня вот ощущение. Так, ну мне туда надо. Или нет. Е.
except for some bitches ahead of me wanted to do me harm. So I had to face them alone.
Что, блядь?
I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
That's it for you. Show yourself.
Я, кстати, просрал там моменты. Почему компаньоны не прибежали? А вот они, твои компаньоны, и есть. Нет, это я брать не буду. Он скорострельный, но слабый. Упал. Потихонечку продвигаемся. Патроны дай. Жопа.
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends.
He's almost as good as me.
Ах ты, блин. О, эпичная музычка началась. О, Чеши, привет. Да, жопа патронами не хочет делиться. О, прям. Суровая прям такая музыка, классная. Да по-любому там что-то есть, дай залезть. Ну или нет, там ни хрена. О. О. Ладно, я пошел отсюда. Там мистикой попахивает. Да, что-то есть. Какая музыка?
The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
Карабаш. Ачивку дали, полный заряд. Ха-ха-ха. Класс.
And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen. Point being, I was under serious attack.
Сайлос, хочу тебя огорчить, но это и есть твоя поддержка. Ну как бы они тебя и атакуют. Музычка эпичная. Ух ты. Да, попробуем. Револьвер с узором, гравированный рейндж. А ну-ка. А что лучше? Револьвер с узором. Скорость стрельбы, скорость прицеливания. Револьвер с узором гравированный. Дальность минус отдача. Дальность отдача. Пару минут. Да, лучше с этим. Мне кажется, это как-то подальнее. Хотя там скорость прицеливания. Чего еще раз? Ну-ка. Дальность и отдача. Дальность и отдача. А здесь скорость стрельбы и прицеливание. Нет, давайте все-таки тот возьмем, пока я его не потерял. Не, вот он. Вернись! Где ты? Милый. Ну, подожди. Вот. В общем, творится опять какая-то лютейшая дичь.
A barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view.
Как перед твоим носом? Сайлос. Несешь какую-то дичь.
But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running for the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was. Steve?
Кто
So I
храпит,
just
блядь?
started walking, and pretty soon...
Кто храпит, блядь? Проснись, сука. Вот так вот. Рассказываешь, рассказываешь. Они еще и спят. Ай! Вот это я зря сделал. Минуту. Продолжаем? Продолжаем. Извините, меня отвлекли. Так. Блять. Сайлос, хватит.
Steve.
Стив.
Steve.
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
Чего? Какие, блядь, индейцы?
There were Indians.
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
Oh, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
Если что, я взрываю, потому что мне опыт дают. Какой-никакой. Булька. Вроде ничего нет, да? Так, я куда-то пришел.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, soldier! Take that asshole!
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits.
Ёб твою мать,
Smiths
динамит.
or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family? I'll bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Bring it on! Somebody kill that son of a bitch! Kill that goddamn mother!
Да блять! Умереть еще не хватало.
You can't get me. Can you shoot around corners? What are you gonna do?
Я случайно сейчас нажал.
You won't need it, damn it! Don't let that asshole get away with this!
Так. Сойдет.
Face me, you coward!
ты где? А? Дерьмово, да? Мне туда? Или туда? А где эти сволоты-то? Значит, мне туда... А, вон он! Не очень, конечно, пуха.
A lot of those paths seem to be leading nowhere.
Ты и я? Ну давай. Тут взрывчатка. Ай.
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
Да, вот это лучше возьму.
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps? Yes, it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was in that a few
С той
Slavs
стороны,
were
блядь.
running down the line, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
Зря я бочки взрываю, на самом деле. Что за
waiting on me.
фигня, блядь? Ох, красиво. Эпично, я бы даже сказал. Не работает.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben.
О,
I set out to do something. I
охуенно.
do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Отлетел. Да, реально красиво.
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit. But it turned out that they had me.
Я же сказал, предатели. Ублюдоиды. Саненькие.
The Daltons had played me
Да,
like
только
a
они чей
fiddle.
корабль подожгли.
Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Oh, yeah, but I was in a
Did you
fight.
hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
You're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed big. I don't think it'll even float.
So anyway,
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsank.
oh God,
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Greaves?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. I was coughing up smoke and pretty damn pissed. I was done playing games with those boys.
А вот сейчас
It was
будет
time
клево.
to settle this once and for all.
Не
Had
только
one
один.
about to come at me one at a time. They were in this together.
Сюки, да.
Two
Подлые.
brothers side by side.
О, вот это уже
determined to
тоже
take me
жестко.
down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side. got it wrong. A sad end for those two.
В
If
дуэли
they'd
они
only
сложнее
known
были.
that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds. Paroled 14 years later. He moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that
Одну не
faithful
нашел.
bank. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
Ну ладно.
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told. It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
О, миссия с поездом, походу, сейчас будет классно. Чуть-чуть послушаем. Ну ладно, поехали.
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Ну давай.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer.
Блять, как
I figured the
красиво,
Wild Bunch
сука.
would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right.
О. Даже дятел слышно, как дерево колдует. Клевые песни. Стрельба впереди.
They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the wild bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above. So I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling
Еще раз
down.
посмотрим. Пошли. Там внизу ничего нет. Нет, ничего нет. Надеюсь.
I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
Я так понял, не туда надо? Или туда? Не туда. Раз не туда, значит здесь правильно кто-то лежит. Логика, ёп. Идем дальше. Быстро.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
Паровозик. Паровозик, который не смог.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that ridge. What'd you say? I can't hear a
What
goddamn
did you say
thing.
about my mama?
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them.
Нам пока с этим.
From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would
Но у
need
него
to get my ass
скорострельность,
out of
кстати, у
there.
этого пистолета хороший. А там что? А, понятно. Там ничего. Или взять. Здесь красивее. А, давайте с этим побегаем. Я с ним не бегал. Но вы этого не видели. Ну что ж, поехали.
I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados.
Вот тоже хорошая музычка, кстати, началась прям.
Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Die, you bastard!
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
Тут ничего нет.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Попал таки, сука. Давай.
Times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Секрет. Эти винтовки лежат везде. Мне кажется, на винтовку надо взять. Куда бы? Пу-пу. Так, ладно. Да ёб твою. Или мне туда не надо? Что-то я не пойму. А, да. Стоп, стоп, стоп. Слона-то я и не приметил. Утки в тире берут маленькие пушки, стреляют в селка, типа того.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a
You
hand.
mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Чё?
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that? He's out of his mind! Take cover! Retreat! Retreat!
Здесь наверняка что-то есть. Сука. Обманули. Да быть такого не может. Хотя может.
He's killing everybody! He'll kill us all! Run!
Ничего, да? Хоть она быстрая, блядь. Пистолет. О! 3 из 3. Отлично.
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
Really pissing me off!
А чё она как-то не... Не понял. А почему он вообще не стрелял? Как-то странно. Или там... Он не крутится? Что за бред? Он не крутится? Хуйня какая-то. Постная.
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
Да, и подсказка.
The
Отойдите от
fastest gun
гада.
in the gang.
О,
Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
что-то не прет. Ну я ж увернулся, ну ёб твою мать. А, плюс 5. Скажите, пожалуйста, что не так с игрой? Или может со мной что не так? Выстрелим ему в член.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America. They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Любимое оружие — скорострел, награда верности. Но что-то мне вот это вот не понравилось, то, что мне не дало ни хера это пострелять с Гатлина нормально, потому что походу баг какой-то. Так, а что дальше-то будет? Я чуть не помню. Поехали. Ух ты,
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang.
Вот это прикольно. Давайте вот это пусть будет.
So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
Сверчки, что ли? Светлячки. Кто там ходит?
That kid Curry's kinda crazy, ain't he? Don't let him hear you saying that.
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado.
Бочек нет. Жалко.
Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down. Old Bob wasn't among them. Neither was Kid.
У меня опять языком.
I could sense them close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Я вижу секрет.
And I found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific.
А, Серк, привет, я что-то не увидел.
The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports. Kid Curry was considered the wildest of the wild bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5.
Строгал 85 детей. Вот это действительно скорострел. С умением верный выстрел. Ай, блядь.
Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was going to rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me.
Хорошая женщина. Возьму-ка я, пожалуй, здесь это.
The bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards. And I made it a point to remove any dynamite that I came across.
Бля, красиво, кстати, смотри.
Like I said, I made it a point to remove that dynamite.
Чё?
I said I made it a point to remove that dynamite.
Чё? Сайлос, я тебя не понял. Ладно, я тебя услышал.
A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Действительно.
Don't you blow us up now.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. But the Wild Bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
Ой-ой-ой. Сука! Конская. Да, тир, кстати, прикольный. Наверное, брать дробовик было плохой идеей. Надо другие пистолеты взять, эти слишком скорострельные, они не помогают. Пожалуй, не получится. Сука. Падаль. Возьму вот это.
Ready to meet your That doesn't even make sense.
So, what happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn dynamite.
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
Что я сделал? Выстрелил в веревку? А где веревка?
All the dynamite?
Funny you should mention that, darling. As actually, there was a fourth charge impeding my progress. Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
Идем по... А! Кто это? Охренел, что ли?
Yes, just wanna die.
А секрета здесь что, нет никакого? А похоже, как будто он тут должен быть. А, чувак валяется.
So I proceeded onward and realized that that way just wasn't gonna work. I needed an alternate path forward.
Так, здесь наверняка что-то лежит. Надеюсь. Ай. Или нет? А, блять, я понял, почему у меня не стрелял этот Гатлин. Я на мышке случайно второй режим нажал. И поэтому он считался как за 2 выстрела, короче. Ну, конечно, так сделать. 3 выстрела. Прикольно. Но я лучше поставлю 1. Ну-ка. Это есть? Это есть. А? А?
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it. The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks. My heart was pounding like a sledgehammer. I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally, at the last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today.
Ну, я, по-моему, пропустил 2 тайника.
Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge. Well, it was a touching reunion. But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass as I was not a young man anymore.
Да вон там я... Ёпта, она думает.
kill that SOB. Make him bleed. Send him to perdition.
Finally, I found those boys. Or more precisely, they found me.
He's crazier than Kid Curry asked me.
О, блядь, вовремя отбежал. Сука, конская. Ты, падла. Ай. Продолжай. Да убей меня уже, блядь, я все равно промахнулся. Скотина. Ой, черт.
He's crazier than Kid Curry asked me. Nuttier than a damn fruitcake. Pat him down.
Подождите. Boy. Ай-яй, не прячься.
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in this tunnel and pretty well shielded.
Блядь. Да почему я упал-то?
Luckily, I had located some dynamite. I still, however, had my work cut out for me.
Hold him off while I reload. This is the last mistake you'll ever make. Are you kidding me? Get out of here, you coward! Time for you to lay down and die. You can't beat me.
Сука.
What are you, yellow? That smells like a killing.
Понятно, туда нельзя. А вы верите? Не знаю, я их не...
You can't hide forever. Do you know who I am? Shit, I gotta reload? Shit! You can't beat me. attention? Do you know who I am? Get out of here! You can't beat me! Come on, come on, come on! Are you kidding me? This is the last mistake you'll ever make! These rat bastards! Give me a hand here, goddammit!
Gonna cut you a new spine.
What else I can tell you? Time for you to lay down and die.
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down. And that's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
Дуэлька.
As fast as he
Горло
was,
прям.
I was just a bit faster.
Прям в горлышко.
And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him. Those were his last words.
Два из четырех, да. Ну ладно. Жаль.
So, Bob Bryant got away?
I knew I'd never find him in South America.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kind of glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang. Did I neglect to mention that?
Джесси Джеймс, тоже знакомое имя.
Jesse James? The greatest outlaw who ever lived?
Jesse and his kin rode with Quantrill when he raided Lawrence, Kansas, and killed near 200 people, boy.
Ah, nothing great about that.
And from there, him and his brother went on to rob banks and trains from Kansas to Missouri.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their heads. 40 grand for both of them, dead or alive. That's one hell of a payday.
По-моему, вот сейчас на поезде, кстати, надо будет ехать в миссии. Вроде как. Да.
I confronted them as they were robbing a train. Bullets were flying at me from every which way. But I knew I'd have to fight my way forward if I was gonna find this Jim.
Дальше. Оружие, сколько? Кстати, здесь надо, наверное, дробовик. Блять. Я не то взял. Не-не-не, револьвер давай. Удобно? Похоже, что нет.
Now wait a second. How'd they stop this train in the first place?
Well, the James boys were experts at this.
Перемотка. Эпично.
They hopped a freight train having heard there was a big payroll in the express safe. So, I hopped the same train.
Ну таким вот образом я начал
after that little fiasco they had in Northfield, Minnesota. So Jesse needed more men and took on the killer I was after, along with a host of others. I was hoping to find my man and put a bullet in his head. Climbing around that train, I must have swallowed 100 damn bugs before I reached
James
that...
Younger gang pulled the first train robbery west of the Mississippi.
Sounds like you hold them in high regard.
Everyone knows they were the most famous outlaw gang ever.
And you took them all on by your lonesome. Again. I'm finding this all a little hard to swallow, friend.
Well, maybe you need to wash it down with some whiskey. By the way, did
хрена
I
ты
mention
вбежал,
that train was flying down those tracks like a bat out of hell?
Вот это ты присел. Прикольно. Да подожди ты. Что-то, не, даже не подостал, что-то приуныл. О, ты как мило. Блин.
Anyway, excuse me, Ben. Where would I find the gentleman's facilities? Suddenly I have an urgent need to drain my one-eyed snake. Well, I've had more than a few drinks, and I've been sitting here for quite a spell.
Right through there. Let me show you. I never heard so much malarkey in my life.
You think he's bullshitting us?
You don't think he's Silas Greaves?
I think he's just some old drunk looking for some free liquor.
Хватит меня осуждать, уроды.
I don't know, Jack. I think I believe him. You don't think he met Jesse James?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That story makes no sense at all.
Jack.
I mean, you gotta be 2 bricks short of a load to believe that cock and bull story.
I don't agree.
Jack, lay off the
But
bar.
you seriously think that tired old man went toe-to-toe with Jesse James?
Well, that's better. Did I mention that this Jim was married to the infamous Belle Starr? Of course, I didn't learn that until later. Anyway, I made my way forward the best I could. Around the sides, over the roof. At some point, some sumbitch saw me and shouted out, "It's a damn Pinkerton!" Now, I never worked for that limey cocksucker, but I guess they assumed I was one of his assassins. Those evil bastards firebombed Jesse's mother's house and killed his stepbrother. So it's no wonder each and every asshole on that train wanted me dead.
Everybody's always mistaking you for somebody else, aren't they? Why is that, I wonder?
Don't rightly know, Jack. I'm just telling you how I remember it.
I bet you are.
You can't fight James, gang!
Если не понял, что за хрень.
Kill that cocksucker! Can't hide forever! You know who we are! Kill that missing! That's a first. Hide, you billy-livered son of a bitch!
Собака! Страшно. Убил. Падла. А я где? Ну окей.
Shoot that stupid son of a bitch!
I came across a flat car piled high with logs and had to come up with a creative way to make my way forward. I wondered if I was ever gonna find the front of that train, or the bastard I was after. Jesse hired a damn army after Northfield. Guess he didn't want to be outgunned like that ever again. Right about then, I was attacked by some asshole on a Gatling gun.
Well, seems like you run into a lot of them.
Asshole?
Gatling guns.
Yes, I did. Now, I don't remember how I took it out. It was either a bullet or dynamite.
Where would you find dynamite?
Does it really matter, Jack? You're messing with the flow of the story here.
Сука. Тороплюсь. Не надо так делать. Не надо. Надо делать скучное лицо и проходить аккуратнее. Да, блять! Все ж правильно сделал, ну что такое? Давайте, скучное лицо 3. 2. Нажми! Динамитом. Что дальше? А, блядь! Вот как это делается. Пошел вон. Да... Все нормально, все нормально. Я просто я концентрацию неправильно. Блядь. Куда я лезу вообще?
I was looking for Jim and shooting any son of a bitch stupid enough to get in my way. And that included Jesse James himself.
Тебе норм? Устал.
There sure were a lot of men determined to die that day.
Had enough? Sorry, son of a bitch!
It was then that Jesse detached the express car from the rest of the damn train. I could see Jesse waiting for me, fixing to kill me so he could get away with all that money.
На, вон я убил. Я вижу тебя.
You had a showdown with Jesse James?
Of course he didn't. Everybody knows that Jesse was killed by Bob Ford. Yeah, Jesse went out like John Wesley Hardin. Coward shot him in the back of the head.
Guess it doesn't matter how far you run, does it, Ben? Your past always catches up with you. Yeah, I didn't kill Jesse James. Just wounded him bad enough to convince him to hang up his guns.
What about that Jim fella? What happened to him?
I figure he was up front with a gun to the engineer's head. That bastard slipped away again. I'll tell you how I got him. But first I need to wet my whistle.
Не очень дуэль получился. Дальше мужики перед дуэлью стреляют по цыплятам. Пасхалка. Секрет.
After my showdown with Jesse, I continued to track his brother, Frank, and that son of a bitch, Jim. I followed those bastards into the high mountains as they were going to ground.
What mountains would that be?
Somewhere in the Ozarks, I believe. The perfect place to hide out from the authorities.
Намек на ачивку, думаешь? Хотя, кстати, похоже. Что-то такое прям есть.
In fact,
Интересное поле.
before I could find them, some Indians who fled the Rez and were hiding out from the military found me first. They probably thought I was a cavalry scout and didn't want me telling the military where they were.
Сука. Что-то я начал это плохо играть. Да блять! Надо пистолет брать. А, двоих один... Нихуя. Он слабенький. Он скорострельный, но он слабенький. Ты орешь как полудурок. Так обычно орут, как в туалет хотят. Идиот. Хотя, может, он так и хочет. Опаздывает.
Hey, how about another whiskey, Ben? Nothing better to soothe the troubled soul.
Знакомое место. Кстати.
Now, where was I? Indians, right. I had more than my share of run-ins with the Red Man. Like that time... Did I tell you about Grey Wolf?
Yes, sir.
Ah, of course I did. In fact, I could still remember that old medicine man's words to me.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul. You will come to this place again and kill many more men. And the darkness will grow until it consumes everything you are.
So, did you ever find it? The man you were after?
Let me ask you something, Ben. You ever think about death?
Mr. Greaves, are you all right?
Это он когда на Бена наседает.
Oh, death. Oh, death.
Я знаю эту песню. В смысле, я уже слышу ее. Но в другой игре. И игра эта, кстати, на PlayStation 4 называется Until Dawn. Перевели как «Дожить до рассвета». Интересно.
Won't you spare me over till another year? What is this
Вроде как, если не
that
ошибаюсь.
I can't see with ice cold hands taking hold of me? Well, I am death, none can excel. I'll open the door to heaven or hell. Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over till another year? Oh, death. Someone would pray. Could you wait to call me another day? Oh, death. Oh, death, won't you spare me over till another year?
So, are you gonna answer the question?
What question is that?
Jim Reed. Did you ever find him?
Reed was indeed that son of a bitch's surname. That's right, Ben. A despicable character. I remember him laughing like a hyena that cold morning they lynched me and my brothers. He was intent on avoiding my vengeance, but nothing was gonna stop me. Nothing. I finally did track those outlaws down. They had long rifles with scopes and were well positioned to pick off any poor soul who came anywhere close. I'm guessing Frank James believed I was responsible for the demise of his brother Jesse. I couldn't really disagree with the man, as I thought Jesse was dead then as well. He backed off as I closed in on him, but he was still intent on killing me. And when I closed in on him again, he backed off again, looking for a better angle on me.
Кстати, какой дробовик красивый. Возьму, пожалуй, винтовку.
Hell, I can't fault Frank for wanting his revenge, as I was there for the same damn reason myself. At this point, I'm guessing you think Silas Greaves is a worse murderer than Jim Reed ever was.
No, sir.
A man who spent half his life killing somebody's brothers, fathers, sons.
I think you were just looking for justice, sir.
Is that what I was looking for, Dwight? Is that what it was? Justice?
Isn't that why you were hunting the James gang?
The James gang. Right. I finally found Frank holed up in his mountain cabin, and he was determined to have me dead. It was a pitched battle that could have gone either way. Luckily, I had some dynamite in my possession.
Dynamite. On your person.
A few sticks, just in case. It's always good to be prepared.
Right.
I'm just laying out the facts as I remember them, Jack.
That son of a bitch! Take him out! He's just one man! This is gonna hurt! Put him down! I want that bastard dead! Dead this time! Stop that! You ready for a belly full of buckshot?
Да чтоб тебя...
That old shack? Well, it went tumbling right off that cliff.
With Frank James still in it?
Yes, sir.
But Frank James is still alive, living in Missouri, showing folks around the family farm for 25 cents a tour.
I didn't say he died in the fall, now did I?
Факты. Фактов-то нет.
I'm done with this damnable outlaw life! Kill me, don't kill me, do what you will! At this point, I just don't give a shit!
I explained to Frank that I had nothing against him personally and that I was looking for someone else.
You want Reed? Have at him! I never did like that bastard! I am done here!
We parted in peace as Frank pointed out the path to my prey before making his way back down the hill.
Умный ход. Музычка. Какая музыка?
So, what happened with Reed?
Well, I finally found the last of the gang hiding in a nearby cave. First, I had to dispatch the lookouts. But I was determined not to let that murderer escape my revenge again.
I will knock you in the neck.
Hey, boy. Wander in willy-nilly. I decided it would be better to smoke that sumbitch out. Hey, Reed! I shouted. No wonder you're so ornery. Can't be easy being married to Belle Starr. While you're off providing for the family, she's spreading her legs for every Tom, Dick, and Cole Younger. Not an attractive woman exactly, but very friendly. At least she was to me.
Son of a bitch!
Интересное место. Вижу секрет. Да.
It was then that the last bunch of bandits jumped out of hiding.
Why won't this asshole give up?
Сучий потрох.
Why won't this asshole give up? Would someone
Ты, блядь, с дробовика-то жарит. Даже, по-моему, не с одного, а с двух обрезов. Сучка. Крашеный. Падла.
Why won't this asshole give up? Would someone please kill him?
Eventually, it was just me and Reed.
Дуэлька? Да.
I had waited a long time to face him down, so I could repay him for what he did to my brothers. And repay him I did.
Ачивка праведник. Скорее всего, по сюжету. Один не нашел, да? Ну да.
Well, I don't know about you boys, but I'm pretty beat.
Well, it's too damn bad you never found that Bob character. Seems a shame he never had to pay.
Well, funny thing about that, I did have one more chance at him. Six months ago, I heard that Butch and Sundance were back in the States and had gathered up some of their old gang. I tracked them down, hoping that Roscoe Bob Bryant had returned with them.
So you're saying they didn't die down in Bolivia?
That's what I'm saying. "40 years I had waited to get my hands on the last of my brother's killers. Not even an army of demons could have stopped me now."
Так. Ладно, давайте на сегодня закончим. В следующей серии будем уже проходить миссию, искать миссию, что там, хороший, плохой, мертвый. Ну, а также искать Боба Брайанта. И слушать дальше интересную историю Сайлоса. Ну, кстати, с поездом прикольная миссия была. Ну, мне понравилось. Ну, игра классная, красивая, классная. Офигенно, прям. Ладненько, спасибо всем, кто был на стриме, всем, кто писал в чат, всем, кто смотрел. Вот. Увидимся в следующей серии. Добьем, я думаю, уже Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. Дослушаем историю Сайлоса Гривза. Посмотрим, чем все закончилось. Найдет он, не найдет этого Боба. Вот. Всем спасибо, всем доброй ночи, пока, хороших снов.